loss. He's currently listed as day-to-day, and Coach K said yesterday that they are, quote, optimistic about his injury. Zion's status has sparked reactions from all around the basketball world. Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, DeMarcus Cousins, and many others said he should not play another college game. But Charles Barkley disagreed last night. Take a listen to what he had to say.
When did we ever get to the point where all people care about is money? Shaq played college for 2 years. Three. Kenny played for 4. I played for 3. Michael Jordan played for 3. Tim Duncan played for 4. David Robinson played for 4. Some of the greatest players ever. Wilt Chamberlain, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson played. When we get to the point where you got clowns on television saying, oh, don't play. That's what you do, Ernie. That's what we do. We play basketball. I mean, I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. This kid looked like he's going to be a fantastic player. But I get so mad when people act like money's the only thing that matters in the world. Like, oh, dude, you're going to go in the NBA, don't play. I mean, that's ridiculous.
All right, Rob.
Bravo, Charles Barkley, bravo.
Oh, did you find that video to help your argument here?
Yes, thank you very much.
After everything you have heard, what should Zion do?
I'm with Charles here. If he's healthy, Skip, and I'm not talking about half healthy, feels a twinge. I'm not talking about that at all. If he's healthy, he's an 18-year-old kid, and he should play basketball because he went to Duke to play basketball, right? So I don't know, this whole idea, oh, my God, you can't play. He's going to, what's he going to sit around for the next 3, 4, 6 months and not do anything because he's afraid he's going to get hurt again? You can't live like that. Yeah. You're going to have to play at some point, don't you? So if you have something to play for, and in this case he does, Skip, he has a chance to play for a national championship. If he was on Rutgers and they were going to the NIT, I'm sorry, Rutgers, and it didn't matter, would I say play? No, I wouldn't. Now you're not playing for anything. But if you were a kid and you dreamed of playing at Duke and you want to win a national championship and you want to be on that March Madness stage and let the whole country look in and say, look at this guy as you go forward. I always bring up the Carmelo Anthony because it was something to watch. It was spectacular, his run in the tournament. No? Wasn't it?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
He never got hurt his whole freshman year either.
No.
I don't remember even having a tweak.
Skip, here's my only thing. His leg didn't fall off. Come on, let's not make it like he's day-to-day, and I know that that's coming from the Duke doctors. He should have his own people look at it.
He should.
He should, and have a second opinion, so I get all that. But the idea or the notion, he walked off on his own power. Was he in a wheelchair? Did I miss that?
Nope.
So if he's okay to play... To
your point, the ESPN reported he was trying to jog in the hall, trying to get going. Playing at Missouri, named Michael Porter. And in the opening game of his freshman year at Missouri, as he was projected to be last year's #1 overall pick, he wrecked his back, and he needed surgery on his back. And to try to re-up his draft stock, he came back probably a little early and tried to play 3 games down the stretch of their year, including 1 game in the NCAAs for the Missouri Tigers. And he fell all the way to 14th in the draft and went to Denver at 14. And Denver is bringing him along very slowly because he has yet to play 1 minute for the Denver Nuggets this year.
But Skip,
you love that.
But wait a minute.
You love it.
But wait a minute.
Michael Porter, if there had been no restriction, would have gone straight into the NBA. And at least if he'd suffered his back injury, he would have gotten his guaranteed money.
I've never been with the restriction.
All right.
The 1 year, that was a mistake. David Stern made a mistake.
All right.
But my only thing is, his injury was a serious injury, and especially when you're talking about someone's back. It's the same thing with Isaiah Thomas. I know came out with he had a serious injury as well, and he rushed himself back.
He did?
Just like you said, he came back to try to improve his draft stock. If you're not 100%, you shouldn't do it. I agree with that.
About 6 years ago, there was another young man named Nerlens Noel playing for the Kentucky Wildcats. And in a game at Florida, he blew up his ACL. And he was projected to be the #1 overall pick, a dominating inside force shot blocker. and he fell to 6th in that draft, and he's never even measured up to being the 6th pick in the draft because he just doesn't look the same to me. And he's bounced around a little bit. Sixers, Mavericks, now Thunder. And for the Oklahoma City Thunder, he averages 14 minutes a game and scores 5 points and with 5 rebounds and 1 block. That's what became of Nerlens Noel after a fateful knee injury that made him not quite what he used to be, because he was, again, projected to be #1 overall. Do you love that, Mr. Barkley or Mr. Parker? I don't love that. The point is that Shaquille O'Neal and Tim Duncan and David Robinson all left millions and millions of dollars on the table. Now, they were blessed because they didn't get hurt in college. Really, they didn't get hurt much. I'm thinking of them through their careers. They were pretty injury-free through their whole NBA careers. That's a blessing. That's a thank you, God, right? Because you'd never know how that can happen. It can be an accident. Things can go wrong. But they also left, for those 3 or 4 years that they played college basketball, millions on the table that they could have earned and should have earned, because I think the most outrageously unconstitutional rule in this country is that these kids can't just go straight into pro basketball.
Any other place, it's the only place, and I'm with you, where you penalize what you would call a prodigy. Nowhere else would you penalize. No. If somebody could play the piano and go to Carnegie Hall at 8 years old, you know what you do? You let them go. Yeah. If they can make a movie in Hollywood at 5 years old, they go and make a movie. If you could be a doctor at 18 or 20 years old, they don't stop you at medical school because you're brilliant. Only in basketball are we having this conversation.
So, Charles, Shaq, Kenny, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, they all could have been playing for the love of basketball while making money, because Charles could have gone to the Sixers and loved playing basketball for the Sixers instead of playing for 3 years at dear old Auburn, right?
But only thing is with Zion, if it's all about money, and I'm just saying, if this is all about money, he should have gone to Europe to play where he could have got money this year rather than go to Duke, where you're not getting any money, and Coach K's making $14 million or whatever the number is, and everybody else
is
around
Zion
him.
Actually going to class getting 1/4 of a degree? I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah. But I'm just saying, if it's about money, then he never should have gone to Duke, because there was no money there. So obviously there had to be about going to Duke and putting himself on a platform, where he'll get noticed by scouts. People will figure out that he's a great player.
And again, I pointed out to you yesterday, in his 26 games, he's gone from, according to some services, the 5th-ranked player all the way to the runaway slam dunk #1 overall pick. So he used college basketball, which is the ultimate developmental league, because you're playing on the biggest stages before millions of people. Unfortunately, you're playing for you're getting room, board, and tuition, but that's all that you're getting in most cases. Some players are getting some behind-the-scenes AAU-type money, but in most cases, they're not making that much money, right? So it is a free country. And if Zion just loves Duke and the whole college experience for 1 year, and he just wants to be true to that school and play for dear old U for 1 year and experience what it feels like to be, have one shining moment and be the MOP, the most outstanding player of the Final Four. If you want to do that, God bless you. It's free. You can do it. You're doing it for free, basically, but it is a free country. But to me, there is high risk in that, because I also told you yesterday, this is a rare specimen. This is 285 pounds that can get the 285 pounds up higher than anyone's ever seen anybody jump at that weight.
But here's the pushback, if that's the case. If you're telling me you're afraid for him to play college because he's going to get hurt again, how's he not going to get hurt in the NBA?
I don't know.
You're just saying he's got...
It's possible he has a shorter shelf life than most players because of his gifts, like his tonnage plus his leaping, his power leaping ability.
But I'm just saying that wouldn't make me feel good as a general manager. I just wonder about an 18-year-old kid, and I'm saying who's healthy, right? We're saying who's healthy, who doesn't want to play.
Okay, I got that. But again, these kids are at least enlightened enough. They have enough new advisors and parents who are enlightened who say, time out, what are we doing here? Because in Shaq's day, nobody was enlightened. It was just given that your father told you, You need to go play for LSU, Shaq.
No,
it'll be fun. Baton Rouge will be a blast. You'll have college experiences. You can maybe join a fraternity and blah, blah, blah. And again, you went to college. You went to higher levels of college. You went to Columbia. I went to Vanderbilt. It was great. I cherish my years there.
I cherish my years.
But I was not gifted enough to do this, right?
And that's where it's different.
Okay, that's where it's different.
Now, I get that, but I also think that sometimes we take the kids' childhood away from people because we do overanalyze and everything is a big skip. We could go down the line. As kids, I drank from the water hose. Parents wouldn't let kids drink from the water hose now.
Okay.
We rode a bike, Skip. Did you ride a bike without a helmet?
Did I?
Everybody did.
Wait, I rode a motorcycle without a helmet.
Okay, but I'm just saying, this is where we are now.
I know.
Like, everything is overdone, and I'm not sure that this is Zion more than it is adults and advisors and people who are looking at the monetary thing. He's their cash cow. That's what he is, but he's still a kid. And I'm not saying that you should put a kid in harm's way or not warn him about these things, but if he has it in his heart that winning a national championship means something to him,
that's fine.
How could you take that away from him if he's healthy?
Okay, but don't come crying to me if you blow up your knee next time and you completely wreck it and it at least damages your NBA
If he
superstar.
blows up his knee in working out or in a scrimmage, right, not in a game, then what would this excuse be?
You can't prevent anything from happening. I mean, it could happen. Injuries could happen. But he is rare, Skip. And you have to protect that. And I love college athletics. I played them. I cover them. It was the time of my life. But he's different. And not everyone is Zion. And not everyone's going to have the chance to have this future. And I think I have been convinced it's too risky. It doesn't make sense at this point.
Sarah.
Maybe
Whatever
Zion,
will be,
maybe Zion should walk on for the Duke lacrosse team. What do you think?
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I think
because just for the love of the sport.
he'd do well.
Who's the greatest lacrosse player ever?
Jenny.
Yeah, definitely not. I wish I could say that my college career was that successful.
It would be Jim Brown.
But it was not. And we will move on to the Steelers. Should their players be upset with their general manager? We'll discuss everything that's going on there next.